Hello everybody, it's Brony Time, and welcome back to Let's Play Ace Attorney Investigations. When we last left off, we went back to talk with Detective Bad about it, and we found out that the gunshot was actually fabricated. So now we are having our, final showdown with Callisto U. And we just presented our trump card, and we're probably about to end this case in this video, hopefully. I will probably go to the end of this case, since we're pretty close. I believe. The window was open. There's actually one common point between lobby number 1 and lobby number 2. And it is that despite the fact that both rooms have air conditioners installed, a window was open in each. Now we know that the window in lobby number 2 was opened by the killer. However, a window in lobby number 1 was also
Objection!
It's probably just coincidence they were both open at the time. It was no mere coincidence, I assure you. Why was the window open in lobby number 1? The answer to that is a certain person did something to cause the window to be opened. And the person who triggered that action, that person is the real guilty party. The real killer in this double murder is... It's gotta be you.
Take that!
Miss Callisto U, I hereby formally indict you of the murder of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell. What? You indict me? Are you serious, Miles? Why would you think she is the killer? I don't understand her motive just yet. But of course I'm serious. Because she's the only one who could have done it. Well, Miss Yu, do you still feel like laughing now? Of course I do, Edgeworth. My argument must not be tight enough yet. Although I never thought things would spiral into this. But I'll have you know I'm enjoying this dance quite a bit. I guess this means it's time for my own rebuttal now, right? You argue that the window was open. However, do you have proof it was I who did that? Furthermore, do you have proof that the tape was underused in committing the crime? Frankly, I'm shocked at you for going around accusing people of murder like this, especially when logic as full of holes as yours. This is where it really starts. I mustn't let my guard down for even a second, or the truth will blow away. Now's the time to put the patented Von Karma perfect proof to the test.
Hold it!
Ah, shit, I didn't mean to press. Evidence? All I need to do is have some prints analyzed and we know straight away. Be my guest, she sounds as though she has the room to maneuver. Which means, even if we were able to lift prints, they'd only show that it was someone else, but... Why that someone else was supposed to open the window? That's simple logic. Why don't I try presenting that piece of evidence? I have nothing to lose. What's wrong? The scrunched eyebrows lines on your forehead, they're all back. More importantly, are you going to be okay not running a fingerprint analysis? Yes, I'll be fine. Oh, well in that case, I'll just continue with my testimony, alright? I hit Q. I'm pretty sure Q was present in another game. I can't remember which one.
Objection!
I'm sure you've seen this before, haven't you, Miss Yu? Aha, Edward, I never knew you were into wearing that kind of perfume. It's not exactly what I'd recommend for boys, you know. But this isn't mine! That's right, it's mine, and I received it from Detective Badge, you see. Miss Yu, you can pretend all you like, but we know at least this much is for sure. That you are the one who gave the bottle of perfume to Detective Bad. And that you're super easy to rile up. So, what about the perfume? While you were in lobby number 1, you made a big show spilling some of this perfume. That's according to Detective Bad. Oh, I know. You also knew that if you spilled it, it would naturally move to open a window.
Objection!
Come on now, I've already told you that's all just a big coincidence. After we opened the window in lobby number 1, I just left it open, you know? So maybe it was just dumb luck that we heard the gunshot through the window. The timing of when you were going to spill the perfume is something you could control. And the most important fact about this case is when people who made to hear the shot. Furthermore, it could have been pointless if you didn't have an alibi for yourself at the time. You mean, Miss Yu, you were the one who called Detective Bad into lobby number 1. When you saw him bring Detective Gumshoe into the hallway, Is that correct? All of today's premeditated events could only have been thought up by you, Miss Yu. You accuse me of murder on the fact that I spilled a little perfume. Allow me to say this much. I couldn't have killed Mr. Faraday. Would you care to testify as to why? Look, I have a lot of fun today, really. But I grow with this game of cat and mouse. Let's make this last testimony and wrap up this absurd case once and for all. Accusing someone of murder over a spilled bottle of perfume is a bit over the top. But I suppose forgery of evidence is to be expected of a disciple of Von Karma. In any case, it simply could not have been me who killed Mr. Faraday. After all, I don't even know where the knife that was used to kill him came from. Miles, the testimony is flawless. Yes, but no matter what sort of trick she may try to pull, she won't escape me. If I'm lacking information, I'll just draw it out of her. Oh shoot, wait.
Hold it!
At this rate, she will inevitably escape. If she is the one who killed Mr. Faraday, then she must have known about the existence of the knife. I'm sorry, Miss Yu. Maybe you weren't aware. However, the knife that was used to kill Mr. Faraday was taken from his evidence bag. Miles, what do you think you're doing? I'm drawing the truth out of her, that's what I'm doing. Huh? But I don't recall the knife being presented at the trial earlier today. Well, I suppose that's because the evidence was something Mr. Faraday had yet to use. So that's what you're trying to do. Look, why don't you cut it out with the lies? I've already figured you out. There was no knife inside Mr. Faraday's evidence bag. The only evidence he had yet to present was the key the Yatagarasu had sent. And unless a key can magically turn into a knife, you really don't have a leg to stand on. Did you really think you could trap me? Come now, be honest. Heh, I never intended to do such a thing. It was all a misunderstanding on my part. In any case, I wonder if you might append what you said to your testimony. Sure. Why not? I'll even say it as many times as you like.
Objection!
Miss Yu, I wonder if you might take a look at this photo for me. This is a picture of the key the Yatagarasu sent to the police. However, while it may look like a key at first glance, it in fact has the secret ability to transform into a knife. Which means that was what was inside Mr. Faraday's bag. It was both the Yatagarasu's key and the murderous knife. You knew the key was inside Mr. Faraday's bag, did you not? Yes. Well, with the Yatagarasu's key alone, it's more than possible to kill Mr. Faraday. Do you understand now? Just knowing of the existence of the Yatagarasu's key. I still haven't had a good look at it. Trying to from that far away, you could be lying for all I know. You would, even now, still feign ignorance. I'm not feigning anything. We can't have you accusing me of a crime with false evidence now, can we? I mean, Mr. Von Karma, I've heard some very interesting rumors about him. Are you mocking my papa? You dare sully the good name of my mentor. Now take a good look. This piece of evidence is more than real. Wow, who knew there was such a trick to this thing? Are you satisfied now? But of course, you knew from the very beginning, didn't you? You knew that the knife and the Yatagarasu's key are one and the same. Otherwise, someone like you, who isn't a member of law enforcement and who would never have been privy to this trick, would have never known about it to begin with. Furthermore, there's something that the Yatagarasu sent to the police. How did you have knowledge as to what it was? Actually, I've heard it from Mr. Faraday. Just before he dragged Mr. Reloff, he told me. Oh, that's right, I almost forgot. He also told me about the key turning into a knife at the time. You didn't tell me about how the key actually transforms.
Objection!
What you are saying is simply not possible. Oh, and why not? Because Mr. Faraday himself didn't know about the hidden knife within the key. But within these pages, he mentions nothing about a knife.
Objection!
I'm not sure he would have written everything in his organizer, you know. Wouldn't something of this importance be better left to our oral communication?
Objection!
Unfortunately, that is also impossible. Because Detective Bad didn't know about the knife aspect either. What would have been highly classified information, even within the police force, and is something that even the lead detective on the case didn't know. Why would Mr. Faraday have felt the need to share such information with the opposition? Yeah, I guess he wouldn't have much of a reason to. Looks like I gave a pretty lame excuse, huh? How can you laugh at a time like this? You probably just realized the flaw in our logic, and it's actually in a panic over it. But that's not something we need to concern ourselves with. I suppose you're right. Miss Yu, I like to say that I also know how you knew the real nature of the knife. To you now? Well, why don't you put your money where your mouth is and show me? Oh, I will. And I'll wipe the smile off your face by the time we're through. This is it. The moment of truth. Excuse me, the secret behind the Yatagarasu's key. Only one person would have a knowledge of it from the get-go. Who else knows that Karado's key would change it to a knife, the Yatagarasu themselves?
Take that!
There's only one person who would have known about the dual nature of the key. And that is the person who sent the Yatagarasu's key to the police. That is to say, the Yatagarasu herself. Are you saying that this lawyer is the great thief Yatagarasu? Miss Yu, you used Mr. Well to lure Mr. Faraday into a trap, didn't you? You, who profess to bear a grudge against criminals, why? Why do something like this? Okay, sorry, I'm not. Who would have thought that you, a stupid rookie prosecutor, would see through me? You're sending the biggest chill down my spine right now, Edgeworth. This feeling of thrill, it's even greater than when I sneak into some place. You killed Faraday. Why? Answer me, Callisto Yu. Callisto Yu, huh? That's not my real name. Because my real identity is, yes, the great thief Yatagarasu. Let me tell you something, Edgeworth. Mr. Faraday was one difficult man to deal with. For you see, he had discovered my true identity, which is why I had to erase him from the world of law. I made Earl an offer, an acquittal for a little favor in return. All he had to do was accuse Mr. Faraday of being the Yatagarasu in court. But once we entered the recess, Rel was dragged off by Mr. Faraday, which threw my plan into a complete mess. I chased after them and eavesdropped on them through a crack in the door. That Rel crazed to only two things, money and authority, just as all thugs do. I feared my plan was going to be ruined if Mr. Faraday held on to Rel any longer. Plus, if I let them continue on the way they were, I would have been found out. That's why I had no choice. I had to kill them both, but did you say that you despised criminals? But do I really? You! Have you forgotten about the KG-8 incident too? Maybe. What sort of woman? What? So then, was it your plan to kill Mr. Faraday with the very evidence that you sent? Well, I had a good idea of what Mr. Faraday was going to do. I anticipated that Mr. Faraday was going to prove that Rel wasn't the Yatagarasu by using this Yatagarasu's key as evidence, and that he would bring it with him. Which is why I thought to use the knife portion. With a weapon as well disguised as this, no one would be the wiser. Because who in their right mind would think something like this could be a weapon? I casually entered lobby number 2 on the pretext that I had to talk with Mr. Faraday, and in order to get in with him, I pretended to be worried about something. He then let me hold the Yatagarasu's key just like that. Never noticed that I had changed the key into a knife inside the plastic bag. And he didn't have the chance to take note of the knife that took his life. How could you kill him? I knew him for a long time, you know. At the very least, I thought to give him a quick and painless death. You kill Mr. Fede first. There's no need for you to kill Mr. Well as well. I believe I mentioned when we were placing Detective Gumshoe under arrest. Something about having accidentally created an eyewitness. And now that led the killer to think about setting them up as though they killed each other. And the trick with the surveillance tape. Yes, I had actually planned to use a gun. The risk was too high that I'd be caught. However, that's when I remembered the existence of that surveillance tape, which is why I had Rel help me set up the crime scene. And after all was said and done, I rewarded him for all his hard work with a bullet. You're a defense attorney, aren't you? How could you? How could you betray a client? Client? If you want to talk about who was a client of who's first, it was me. I was the client in the murder of the Cadopian Embassy staff member, Dean Mann. You ordered a hit job? You still haven't figured it out, Mr. Bad. I had D-Man killed because he was about to give away info about the smuggling ring. Now, who exactly do you think would benefit from such an assassination? It can't be. You're... That's right. I'm a member of the smuggling ring. What? How could this... You don't mean... You're working with Manny Koken too, do you? Maybe, maybe not. Guess you'll never know. Yatagarasu claims to be noble, but you're just another cold-blooded murderer. That's right, little girl. The Yatagarasu is just another killer. Be quiet, you. Yatagarasu. You can from the law, but you'll never escape it. So just humbly accept the judgment of this court. Hey, Edgeworth, did you know the Yatagarasu has 3 legs? Do you know why that is? No? Well, let me tell you. It means that the Yatagarasu has more than one razor-sharp way to do her work. You really are too naive, Edgeworth. You even handed the Yatagarasu's key right to me without a second thought. Everything may not have gone according to plan, but I'll still gladly take it. Ugh. You mean the key was your real target? And even after I gave you such great advice, didn't I tell you to always keep a good eye on a criminal? Or you may regret what comes of your negligence. You two, get down! My body. I can't move. Mister, to your right! You! Are you alright, Francesca? I'm perfectly fine, Miles. The voice is shaking, but it looks like she's unharmed. Where did Kay go? That's a gunshot! Did they shoot bad? Sorry, but it looks like she got away. I called the precinct. They should have a permanent perimeter set up soon. Bad, are you alright? I heard a gunshot. I'm okay, just got another hole in my jacket. I may say he's fine, but he looks quite shaken. But more importantly, boy, I mean Mr. Edgeworth, Miss Von Karma, are you two hurt? I'm absolutely fine. I'm also alright, thanks to Kay. Speaking of Kay, where is she? I don't know. She just sort of disappeared. I'll go look for her. Oh, and hey, Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir. Detective Bad. Yes, sir. Detective Bad, sir. I'm sorry I dubbed you. Don't worry, sir. It's not your fault. Well, I lied to you guys, too, after all. I heard about what happened. From Kay. Lying while giving testimony is still unforgivable. But in this case, you You were protecting Kay and her feelings. Looks like you just might have what it takes to be a real detective. Now, don't you ever lose that detective spirit, okay? You got it, Pops. Pops? Watched one too many detective dramas recently, have we? Way to single-handedly destroy the cheery atmosphere with one snarky comment. Snarky comment? Let's go back to the investigation. I swear, I'll catch you if it's the last thing I do. Be careful, Detective Bad, and take care. Thanks. Well, I'm off. Maybe we'll run into each other again someday. Like in the final case? Thanks a bunch, pal. You're the best. You really did find out the truth behind everything. Yes, well, I'm glad we solved everything before you were taken to prison. I can't believe how much trouble I caused you with my testimony, Detective Gumshoe. Yeah, that's no problem, really. I mean, I lied too, so I didn't help anything. It's really not your fault, Your Honor. Well, even if he didn't have his honest testimony, I think that lawyer would have found another way to get you convicted on her behalf. Yeah, I can't believe I was about to get fired during my first week as a detective. Well, so long as you're not fired, you should work hard, give all that you have, and perform your duties well. Oh, and one more thing. Kay left a present for you with me. She did? Oh, what is it? What was it that Kay left for me? The proof of their friendship? The Swiss roll, obviously.
Take that!
It's a courthouse special Swiss roll! Can I really have it? Yes, it's a present meant for you after all. Thanks a bunch. You have no idea how happy this makes me, pal. I'm gonna eat this right now. Sure, go ahead. Swiss rolls Detective Gumshoe and Kay brought together. Although one case they have never reached her father. It would appear that her sentiments have touched the heart of this detective. He's so happy, it's as though he's having a welcome back celebration of his own. Well, I was asked by Kay to give it to him. Well, that was good, pal. I can't believe I got to eat 2 of these delicious things in one day. It's like I'm in Swiss roll paradise or something. I gotta thank Kay myself. Hey, wait, where is she? The only notice just now was his mind not present when we discussed her earlier. Detective Bad left to go search for her earlier. Maybe you should go join him. Yeah, you betcha, pal. I'm gonna go help. Oh, but first. You know what, pal? Actually, I guess I shouldn't be so rude to you anymore. Huh. I'm gonna stick right by your side from now on, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. I sense nothing but a most troublesome relationship from that ominous statement. We should go home too, Miles, if you have to hurry and report what has happened to Papa. Agreed. Well, I'm afraid we must be going now, Detective. Roger, sir, and don't you worry. I'll investigate the next case we're on real well. I'll, be counting on you. The scent of trouble is definitely in the air. Just like a bad dream, my first outing at court came to a disturbing end. A few months later, I was finally able to properly stand in court as a prosecutor. But the detective in charge of the investigation was, as I dreaded, Detective Gumshoe. After that, he became my direct subordinate. I have tried, but words fail to describe the immeasurable suffering he has caused me. But I suppose that's just how things are. As for the little girl who suddenly disappeared, she's now... So, do you remember now? Yes, I remember everything. Kay. It's been a while. Kay! You sure grew up a lot! Of course, but thank goodness. I thought you two had totally forgotten about me. You know, I was really worried about you after all that. Where have you been all this time? Gummy, I didn't know you cared. After my father died, I went to go live with my mother's relatives. They lived really far away, so I wasn't really able to come back here all that much. Oh, is that what happened? Well, I'm just glad you're all right. So, does it all make sense now? You betcha it does. Oh, you know what? I was going through my father's bookshelves recently, and
Hold it!
actually, there are still a number of things that don't make sense, Kay. Huh? First of all, why did you come all this way to see me? And second, why are you calling yourself the Yatagarasu? Yatagarasu is Callisto Yu, the woman who killed your father. No, you're wrong. The real Yatagarasu was my father. Mr. Faraday was the Yatagarasu? Like I said, I was going through my father's bookshelf recently, and I found a secret diary hidden among his books. I have no regrets in choosing to walk the path of the Yatagarasu. That was written in his diary, and that's how I know for sure. But that's impossible! What's with that look? You don't believe me? It wasn't just the expression on my face. It clearly said it was impossible just now. Alright then, how do you explain this? It's a way of disarming any security system of the user's choosing. Yep, that's Little Thief. Truth be told, this is the Yatagarasu's greatest secret. And this little gizmo was used by my father. Wow, Mr. Faraday wasn't just a great prosecutor, he was a really great thief, huh? Yeah, my father worked really hard to steal the truth. But he was killed, and the Yatagarasu was no more. But despite that, the Yatagarasu has been spotted again recently. Someone other than you? Here, Mr. Edgeworth. Take a look at this article. Take a look at this article! Sorry. The Yatagarasu sent the embassy a calling card? Yeah, meaning this person's a fake. I'm almost certain that Callisto Yu lady is behind this. Because the real Yatagarasu would never send something like a gaudy card out. The Yatagarasu did send a white card along with anything to be publicized. That's what Detective Bad told me 7 years ago, if memory serves. Well, as soon as I heard the news, I got all wound up, and I knew I couldn't just let it go. So I searched you out, so that I could obtain the truth behind the Yatagarasu. Because if anyone can help me find it, I figured it's you, Mr. Edgeworth. So you're saying that I have your father's and misuse identities backwards? Yes, because the real Yatagarasu is noble to the end. And I want to revive the real noble Yatagarasu. If I don't, my father will never be able to rest in peace. Kay. So honorable. I don't care what anyone else thinks. I'll always be here to cheer you on, pal. Even if you are honorable, a thief is a thief. And if you are plotting to commit a crime, then I'm afraid I can't be complicit. Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, you guys are not making it easy for me. Who am I supposed to support now? Mr. Edgeworth, what I want from you is not to steal something. What I want is the arrest of that evil woman. That evil woman? You mean Callisto Yu. I think it's too hard for me to catch her all by myself. But I thought that since you were able to expose her for who she is, then maybe... Please, Mr. Edgeworth, won't you help me? Come to think of it, I do believe I owe you. Huh? Owe me for what? When Miss Yu made her escape, it was you who saved my life. Furthermore, you helped me with the investigation today. I am not so rude as to leave favors unrepaid. Then you mean... Yes. That case has been weighing down my soul ever since that fateful day. Perhaps the time has come to settle things once and for all. If you don't intend to sully your hands in a crime, then I believe I can help you. Mr. Edgeworth, thank you. Yeah, yay, Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Isn't that great, Kay? Yeah, it sure is, Gummy. Even though he had completely forgotten about her until just now. What is with their chummy relationship? The great thief Yatagarasu. After all that time, the true identity of the thief sank back into the darkness. Byrne Faraday, Callisto Yu, and Kay Faraday. The phantasmagorically changing identity of the great thief Yatagarasu. And the Yatagarasu's real goal. It would all come to light the day after I made that promise to Kay. The end. Wait, I just got an achievement for not cheating. Oh, or is that for every case? Oh yeah, because they say if you turn on story mode, achievements are disabled. Okay, okay. Okay. Well, anyway, that is the end of case number 4, Turnabout Reminiscence. Yeah, it was okay. It was a typical flashback case, but of course, they always do that to set up the final case. There's always a fucking flashback. Well, not always. There wasn't one in the first and second game, but since then it feels like there's like a flashback case in every freaking game. Like Apollo, there was one in the third case and no, I think the third case was the flashback case of that one. But yeah, it's just so many flashback cases. But of course, Callisto, you is an evil bitch, and we have to take her down. And she claims to be the Yatagarasu. But it'll be interesting to find out her real identity. I think she's just the mastermind behind the smuggling ring. I think that's it. Or maybe she's not, and it'll be a surprise. What if Detective Bad's actually the mastermind? That would be crazy, but I don't really think that's gonna happen. But anyway, so yeah, I give this case a C. It wasn't the best case for me, but it was fine, and it gave us the information we needed. But all right, except that the part where Kay kicked Miles in the leg in the back of his leg was hilarious. It really was hilarious. Anyway, so thank you all for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to Brony Time for more content, especially more Attorney Investigations. Also, please make sure this video far and wide, so we can get as many eyes on the series as possible. And I will see you all in the next case, which is called Turnabout Ablaze. See ya.